Daf Yomi, Tractate Chullin, page 30b, top of the page, with the words Mesi Rav Ovin. It's about one line into it, a few words into it. Mesi Rav Ovin, Shochat es haveshet lemata v'yesakon lemalo. Oi, et haveshet lemalo v'yesakon lemato, shchitosi keshero, amai, v'legashketim mevoy ra'as. Rabbi Avin raises an objection from a Brighton. If one cut the gullet below on the neck and the windpipe above on the neck, or he cut the gullet above on the neck and the windpipe below on the neck, his slaughter is valid. Based on this, Rabbi Avin asks, why is the slaughter valid? But in that case, there is no clear and obvious slaughter. He raises the objection, and he resolves it. This bright is not referring to cuts on two places on the neck. Rather, it is referring to slaughter performed on a diagonal, like the point of a reed, kulmus, fashioned into a writing utensil. The slaughterer begins cutting from the top of one siman and cuts diagonally downward so that when he reaches the second siman, the knife is lowered down. Al Rav Yitzchak bar Shmuel bar Marta shekal mi shupre shupre amalei Rabbi Zera limaditanu rabbeinu mishnatenu mishnei sakinim mishnei bnei adam. The Gemara relates there was a certain bull that was slaughtered with cuts in 2 or 3 places. It reminds me of 2 or 3 witnesses, 2 or 3 places. In the simanim on its neck, Rabbi Yitzchak bar Shmuel bar Marta entered the store and took a cut of meat from the highest quality parts of the animal, thereby demonstrating that the slaughter was valid. Rabbi Zera said to him, our Rabbi, you have taught us through your actions that the Mishnah, if 2 people are grasping a knife and slaughtering one animal, even one above and one below, is referring even to a case of 2 knives and 2 people who are each cutting the simanim at a different part of the neck with their knives. Omer Rav Yehuda, Omer Rav, Rabbi Yehuda says that Rav says if one concealed the knife in the neck between one siman and the other siman, meaning he inserted the knife between the windpipe and the gullet, and he severed the gullet first and then removed the knife and cut the windpipe, the slaughter is not valid. If one concealed the knife beneath the hide of the neck, and then he cut both simanim, the slaughter is valid. My kamashmelon, Tanina o shechli desasakin taras hasheni upesakoi Rabbi Yeshevav Omer Nevelo Rabbi Akiva Omer Trefo. The Gemara asks, what is Rav teaching us? We already learned this halacha explicitly in the Mishnah in 32a. Or, if one cut one siman and concealed the knife, beneath the second siman, and severed it, and Rabbi Yeshevav says, the animal was an unslaughtered carcass, and imparts ritual impurity through contact with it and carrying it. Rabbi Akiva says the animal was a treifa, and although eating it is prohibited, it does not transmit ritual impurity. Both agree that the slaughter is not valid in the sense that it does not permit the consumption of the meat of the animal. The Gemara answers, if this halacha is learned from the Mishnah alone, I would say that this statement applies only in the case where one conceals the knife beneath the gullet and cuts it from below to above, meaning from the nape to the front of the neck because he did not perform the slaughter in the standard manner of slaughter. But if he cuts the gullet from above to below, meaning from the front of the neck to the nape, since he performed the slaughter in the standard manner of slaughter, say that the slaughter is valid. Therefore, Rav teaches us that with regard to any case where one conceals a knife during slaughter, his slaughter is not valid. The Gemara proceeds to analyze the second part of that, which Rav Yehuda says, that Rav says, if one conceals a knife beneath the hide of the neck, and then he cut both simanim in the standard manner, the slaughter is valid. The school of Rav say that Rav says that in a case where one conceals a knife between the hide and cuts the simanim of the animal, I do not know whether the slaughter is valid or whether it is not valid because he concealed the knife during the slaughter. In Yodea tachas matles mahu tachas semer misubach mahu teiku. A dilemma was raised before the sages, according to the opinion of the school of Rav, who say, beneath the hide, I do not know if one concealed the knife beneath a cloth that is around the animal's neck. What is the halacha? If one concealed the knife beneath tangled wool on the neck of a sheep, what's the halacha? The Gemara concludes, Teku, these dilemmas shall stand resolved, and we must wait until the coming of Messiah, the son of David, to receive the answer. Just a little trivia here, that I think, I'm pretty sure that Chullin has the most tekus. It's a tractate with the most tekus. And the reason that I know that is that I was looking. There's a book called Teku, written by Rabbi Aharon Yehoshua Pessin, and he listed all the tekus. He counted them and he itemized them, and he lists how many per tractate. And from what I remember, Chullin has the most. But what's another interesting little tidbit of information is that this teku is the 259th teku in the Talmud Bavli, according to that book. And in my teku program, I read it on Thursday, March 5th. It's like right after Purim. Okay. Let's continue. Boy Rav Papa hechli b'miut simani mahu teku. Rav Papa raises the dilemma if one conceals a knife in cutting the minority of the simanim and cut the majority of the simanim in a standard manner with yaloche. The Gemara concludes the dilemma shall stand resolved. Now we start a new Mishnah. Zog the Mishnah Ashochet Shani Reishin Ke'echod Shchitas HaKishero Shnayim Orechtsim B'Sahakim V'Shorechetim Afilu Echad L'Mala V'Echad L'Mato Shchitas HaKishero Hitis Esaroish B'Vasachas P'Sulo Oy Shorechet Hitis Esaroish B'Vasachas Im Yesh B'Sakin Menot Tzavo Kishero. The Mishnah says, with regard to one who slaughters by cutting two animals' heads simultaneously. Whoa! How do you do that? Someone who slaughters by cutting two animals' heads simultaneously? That guy's got some skills. Okay. His slaughter is valid, it says. If you could do it, why not? Probably would make it into the Guinness Book of World Records. If two people are grasping a knife and slaughtering one animal, even if you're just holding a knife and slaughtering above one below, with each one slaughtering at a different point in the neck, their slaughter is valid. If one decapitated the animal in one motion and did not slaughter the animal in the standard manner of drawing the knife back and forth, the slaughter is not valid. In the case where one was in the process of slaughtering the animal in the standard manner, and you decapitate the animal in one motion, if the length of the knife was equivalent to the breadth of the animal, if the length of the knife is equivalent to the breadth of the animal's entire neck, the slaughter is valid. אם יש בסכין מנוצר אחד כשרו. במה דברים אמורים בזמן שהויליך ולא יהבי, או יהבי ולא הויליך. אבל אם הויליך וההבי אפילו כלשהו, אפילו באיזמי כשרו. If one was in the process of slaughtering two animals simultaneously and you decapitated two heads in one motion, if the length of the knife is equivalent to the breadth of an entire neck of one of the animals, the slaughter is valid. In what case is this statement that one must be concerned about the length of the knife said? It is when one drew the knife back and did not draw it forth, or drew it forth and did not draw it back, but if he drew it back and forth, even if the knife was of any length, even if he slaughtered with a scalpel, that was that word be'izmeil, the slaughter is valid. Okay? Now for the Gemara. Zog the Gemara, meno hanimili, Amar Shmuel de Makro, Chetz shachut lishoinam mirma diber. The Mishnah stated, if one decapitated the animal in one motion, the slaughter is not valid. The Gemara asks, from where is this matter derived? Shmuel said it is derived from a verse, as the verse states, their tongue is a sharpened arrow, it speaks deceit. Jeremiah 9 verse 7. Just as an arrow is propelled by drawing back and bowstring, so too slaughter must be performed by drawing the knife across the animal's neck and not by pressing the knife or striking the neck with a knife. Tanu devei Rabbi Shmuel, v'shochat ein v'shochat ela u'moshach v'chein hu oimer zav shachut v'oimer chetz shachut v'shoina mirma diber. Likewise, the school of Rabbi Shmuel taught, the verse states, and he shall slaughter the young bull before the Lord. Leviticus 1:5, the term v'shachat means nothing other than he shall draw the knife across the neck of the animal. And similarly, the verse states, and King Solomon made 200 targets of drawn gold. 1 Kings 10:16, meaning gold that is smoothed in the manner of goldsmiths. And the verse states, their tongue is a sharpened arrow, it speaks deceit. Jeremiah 9:7. Mai ve'oimer v'chitem azov shachut shenit ve'kechutu toshema chetz shachut eshoinom. The Gemara asks, what is the purpose of citing the additional verse introduced with the term, and the verse states, ve'oimer? The Gemara answers, and if you would say that the term drawn gold means that the gold was spun like soft thread, come in here. Their tongue is a sharpened arrow. In this verse, shachut means drawn, like the bowstring that propels an arrow, and it is not a reference to thread. Shachut, it's like a chut. Rabba Ahavim Badek Legira Rabbi Yoina Batachlifa Shochat Be'ofa Behadidi Porach V'dilma Abid Chaloda Chazinon. The Gemara relates that Rava would examine the arrow for Rabbi Yonah bar Tachlifa to ensure that there were no notches on it. And Rava shot the arrow and slaughtered a bird with it as it was flying. Wow. The Gemara challenges, and perhaps when the arrow cut the bird's neck, it performed an inverted slaughter, with the arrow concealed in the neck, and cut the simanim from back to front. So how do we know it's kosher? But how do we know that it's kosher? We never said it was kosher. Okay, you're just assuming that it was. Okay. The Gemara responds, we see, all right, to be continued.